Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the search for life in the solar system. I'm going to split this subject into two videos, one about the inner solar system and the second about the outer solar system. Today I'll discuss the inner solar system. Why are we searching for life? NASA and other space agencies have been searching for life elsewhere in our solar system for over 50 years. The reason is that they would like to know if life on Earth is the only sort of life in our solar system. On Earth, all living things use the same DNA and cellular chemistry because they're all descended from the same common ancestor. If they discovered alien life, they would like to know if it's the same. If it is, then that means that life in our solar system has some way of jumping from planet to planet. If it's completely different, it means there is a second origin in our solar system, that it appears frequently, and it's likely to be common in our galaxy. So we'll find it everywhere, and it'll be completely different every time. One added bonus is that if it is very different, then we may be able to use its enzymes, hormones, proteins and other chemicals to help us make food, pharmaceuticals and many other products in the cold of deep space. It might even help us recycle the things that we would normally send back to Earth or destroy. If we find that life elsewhere in the solar system uses the same chemistry and DNA as life on Earth, then we have to infer that it can jump from one planet to another in some way. The mechanism is probably panspermia, in which bacterial spores are thrown into space inside rocks during large asteroid impacts and are then pulled towards other planets or moons by gravity. Finally, these organisms would have to survive impact into the destination planet and be able to survive and reproduce in a new environment. During the very early days of our solar system, it's possible that all three planets, Earth, Mars and Venus, were habitable, and that life was spread between them by panspermia as asteroids impacted each during the late heavy bombardment about 4 billion years ago. I'll now go through the most likely places for us to find life in our solar system and beyond. Firstly, Mars. We have no proof that there is any life on Mars other than the occurrence of occasional methane plumes. These might be being produced by living organisms, or they might be a product of Mars geology. We don't know which it is, but on Earth it's normally life that produces them. Mars' surface would methodically sterilize anything living with a broad spectrum radiation, extreme cold and dryness, very low atmospheric pressure and an inhospitable surface chemistry. However, there are some places defined as special, which are more likely to have liquid water and therefore life than others. At the moment, rovers are avoiding these because of the risk of us introducing microorganisms from Earth by mistake, which could outcompete any Martian microbes. If there is any life on Mars, it's liable to be microorganisms living deep beneath the surface, but the special locations may serve as windows into their deep rock ecosystem. Here, warmer, wetter conditions exist, and the organisms would be protected from radiation by thick rock layers. On the face of it, Venus, the next planet to look at, seems a highly unlikely place to find living organisms. It has a 92 bar atmosphere and a super hot surface temperature of 457 degrees Celsius, that's 854 Fahrenheit. However, 20 parts per billion of phosphine have been found in the atmosphere, which on life is only produced by biological human activity. This detection is still being debated, and any life in the atmosphere is controversial because of the lack of water, though it might be using sulfuric acid instead of water. The next place to look is the asteroid belt. The largest of the asteroids is a spherical dwarf planet called Ceres. Its crust is believed to be about 30% water ice brine, and some of this erupts onto the surface as cryovolcanoes. It isn't thought to have an internal ocean, but it may host microorganisms just the same. Additionally, once we reach the outer edge of the asteroid belt, organic molecules become a lot more common, providing many of the essential elements needed by life. In the inner solar system, most of these chemicals have been swept away over billions of years by the solar wind. when it comes to working out if there is life elsewhere in the solar system, there are ways to tell life from non-life. There are organic molecules in space which were produced by chemistry and radiation rather than life. Some meteorites which have fallen on Earth contain these chemicals. The difference between these and the organics produced by life is that life has a preference for left or right-handed molecules. For example, life prefers to use left-handed amino acids and right-handed sugars. It's called chiral asymmetry. Organic molecules and chemicals in meteorites and on asteroids include a complete mixture of left and right-handed forms, which shows they weren't produced by living organisms. Another clue about the presence of life is a planet or moon's atmosphere. For example, the oxygen in our atmosphere wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the fact that photosynthesis produces it, so it's produced by plants. In the absence of photosynthesis, our atmosphere would be primarily carbon dioxide, which is much more stable. Mars's atmosphere is primarily carbon dioxide, which suggests there isn't any life there. And when we look at exoplanets outside our own solar system, we can try to detect carbon dioxide or oxygen to find out if there's any life. If we found it, that might give us an indication that there is life on the planet without having to actually go there to confirm it. Finally, to summarise, finding other life forms in our solar system would be really interesting for our understanding of our place in the cosmos and might provide us with a host of new chemistries to help us survive in space. However, there is the risk that our quest for valuable resources like platinum and rare earths and other metals might blind us to the presence of life. We could easily destroy it by mistake in our quest for riches. Therefore, in the long term, there would need to be a large reward for the discovery of any evidence of life, past or present. Thanks for watching.